Nobody's asking for ventilators. Nobody's asking for beds because we built hospitals. No one who has needed a ventilator has not gotten a ventilator.
Our hospitals were not overwhelmed and are not overwhelmed at this hour.
New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof put it best in his latest column, quote, "The best way to understand the coronavirus is not by tuning into White House briefings, but by tuning into the distress on the front line." That's exactly what he did. Kristof, accompanied by video journalist Michael Kirby-Smith, granted rare access to the hot zones inside 2 hospitals in the Bronx.
Death here has no dignity. Patients can't have visitors. They're scared. They can't even see their nurse's eyes. I've reported on lots of deaths in my career, and this feels particularly brutal.
Someone codes, someone dies, you go on to the next patient. Someone codes, someone dies, you go on to the next patient. And you don't have time to process those emotions until you get home. I have cried just at home thinking about it, or just when you get home you finally take a breather, and that's when you let it all out, because you don't have time to process those emotions here.
We're thankful to our friend Nick Kristof, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the New York Times, for being back with us on the broadcast tonight. Nick, I'm going to repeat the quote from Pence at the podium today. "Our hospitals are not overwhelmed at this hour." Square that with what you saw.
Well, Pence is right that there are some hospitals that are not overwhelmed, but those hospitals that I visited are completely overwhelmed. And in particular, the Jack Weiler Hospital in the Bronx, the emergency department had traffic jams of stretchers as you entered the hot zone. They were having to bus people out to other hospitals to make room. There were some people who were seated because they didn't have stretchers available at that moment. And so the idea that that hospital was not overwhelmed when the staff themselves are heroic in trying to deal with these challenges is a complete misperception of what was going on. I wish that the vice president and president might indeed actually drop by the front line and visit these places. They would not say that these hospitals are not overwhelmed if they had seen what I saw.